let's begin with how something came about, why it came about in that particular way and became what it is. For me, it begins in Vienna in 1819.
Mom.
For me, it begins with a music publisher by the name of Anton Diabelli.
Mom.
This music publisher has written a small waltz that will change everything.
Mom.
What is it?
Have you heard a word I've said?
Yes.
What did I say?
You said that they'll call us in soon.
No, I said that everybody who was here before us has gone in. So we're next.
We've been here 2 hours.
I know, we're next. Do you need anything?
No, I'm fine. Don't you have to be to work at 3?
No. Called them, told them I'd be late.
You can leave, Clara. I've done this many times before.
Here.
Thank you.
Hello there. So sorry about the delay.
It's been 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. It's been a madhouse here today.
And who are you?
I'm Mike.
Where's Gary?
He's got the day off. You have me today.
Are you a doctor?
No, I'm a nurse.
But you'll just be administering the test, right?
Yeah, I'll only do the test.
He'll only do the test. Okay.
So, you must be Catherine Brandt.
I am Dr. Brandt.
Oh, right this way, please. Excuse me, but you'll have to wait here.
Well, I would like to go in with her.
We're going to examine her, so you better wait here.
Well, just so you know, because my mother isn't going to tell you, she plans to travel in a week.
I tell him. Why wouldn't I tell him? I'm supposed to travel in a week.
In an airplane.
In an airplane.
To Europe.
To Bonn.
That's in Germany.
Yes, thank you. I know where Bonn is. I don't see a problem with it right now. She looks fine to me. Let's see what these show. When was your last visit?
4 months ago.
Apparently, she was told to come every 3 months.
She looks fine to me.
Listen, I really think she should postpone her trip to Bonn a bit, don't you think?
I'm a nurse, not a travel agent.
Can I talk to you for a moment in private?
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Go ahead, otherwise we'll be here all day. I began my search in Bonn in 1819. The effects of the French Revolution are still being felt all over Europe, and the ideas of freedom and equality are galvanizing people's minds. The world is poised to enter the modern era. In that year, Byron, Victor Hugo, Keats, and Shelley all come out with new books. In Vienna, music is everywhere. Schubert, Beethoven, Liszt, and Czerny are all composing new works. Amidst all this, one event captures my imagination more than any other. A music publisher by the name of Anton Diabelli extends an invitation.
An invitation to the 50 greatest composers in Vienna. My dear musicians, I am enclosing in this letter a new valse of my own making.
Publisher, not so great a composer.
I composed it but a few days ago, and I wish to invite each of you to compose one variation on my theme. Once I have your variations, I will publish them all in one handsome volume that I promise will be a beautiful and popular book.
He knew it would sell well. After all, for the price of one book, the music lover would receive 50 compositions by all the greatest composers in Vienna.
I hope you will find in my valse a worthy and inspiring theme.
All of whom would have immortalized Diabelli's tiny waltz.
And of course, I will compensate each of you for the variation that you contribute. I await your reply eagerly. Yours sincerely, Anton Diabelli, music publisher, of the firm Diabelli, Capi and Company.
All the composers accepted Diabelli's invitation and went to work on his less than stellar waltz. All the composers except one.
Signor Diabelli.
Beethoven's reply comes via his secretary, Anton Schindler.
The Meister has received your charming and melodic waltz.
Beethoven took one look at it and hated it.
Although the project is a very intriguing proposition, and the Meister is very curious about it.
He called it a Schusterflight, a cobbler's patch. He found it commonplace.
At this time, he is inundated with other commissions.
He vehemently refused to have anything to do with it.
So, he must regretfully decline your very kind invitation.
Thank you very much.
Sincerely,
Yours truly,
your servant,
etc., etc.
Anton Schindler, friend of Beethoven.
His card actually said that.
Herr Schindler, I am asking for but one variation, just to have his name on it.
I am sorry, his mind is completely occupied with other commissions.
But then something happened to Beethoven.
Mein Geist sind Sandern. Mein Geist
What?
sind Sandern.
What do you mean?
History doesn't record what he said.
Geist sind Sandern.
But I already told him.
Sein Best.
Are you certain?
Yes, Mother.
Fine. Fine. Dear Signor Diabelli, the Meister has asked me to come and see you in person. I will be in your offices tomorrow at 3.
For what purpose?
Until then, I remain most sincerely yours, Anton Schindler, friend of Beethoven.
Thank you, yes. I will see you then.
Beethoven changed his mind and became obsessed with the waltz. He did not write one variation. Instead, he wrote 33 variations on Diabelli's theme, his longest piece for solo piano, and what many musicians consider to be the most important work in variation form. This obsession of Beethoven's baffles me. What was it about that insignificant waltz that so captured his imagination? At this time in his life, he is only tackling major works. He has very little time left, and yet he chooses this mediocre waltz as his next project. Why? I will be leaving in a few days to travel to Bonn. There at the Beethoven Archives, I will have a chance to view his sketches and notebooks. I need to find out what he saw in that waltz. Who won?
He did. All right here.
Are you sure we can't call Gary?
100% sure. It's all me.
How thrilling.
Schindler!
Yes, Meister?
Schindler!
Thank you, Meister.
Und Schindler!
Yes, Meister?
I need more paper!
Meister, Herr Offenheimer says he won't give us any more paper. We all give him too much already.
Und while you're there, I need more ink!
Yes, Meister.
Und Schindler! Open the shutters! It's too dark in here.
Yes, Meister.
Here it is. It crashed. I can't get it to work. I need you to take it to that place in Midtown and be sure they have it ready by tomorrow.
Sure, no problem. Do you have your meds?
I do.
Do you have the numbers for the doctors in Vaughn?
Yes.
Good.
No, thank you. I'm almost done. Did you cut your hair?
No.
It looks different.
No, it's the same.
You have such beautiful hair. I wish you did something with it.
Do you need anything else?
No, I'm good, thank you.
I'm gonna ask you this one more time, so don't get mad at me. Are you sure you should go now?
Yes. Who knows what state I'll be in the next 6 months. And besides, I've had to call in favors from every music scholar I know to get access to those archives.
But you heard what the nurse said.
He said it would be better if I wasn't alone, which I won't be. Did it make you feel uncomfortable the way he kept staring at you?
Please. That guy?
Yes, that guy. He kept looking at you. In the exam room, he kept asking me about you.
No, he wasn't.
Clara, it took him 15 minutes to find my vein.
I'm sure he knew what he was doing.
He dropped my urine sample. Yes, you should date that guy. He fits the profile of your last 3 boyfriends.
Mom, maybe I should come with you.
And what about Hedda Gabler?
My costumes are done. My assistant can take it from here, and I'm looking into a few other things. What?
I thought you liked being a costume designer.
I do.
You can't excel at anything if you keep changing careers.
I excel at changing careers.
Well, I think that's a great idea. That way you'll always be mediocre at everything.
What happens if you get weaker? What happens if you fall?
I'm not on my deathbed.
I never said you
but
were.
But you're acting like it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't understand why you have to go there. When you wrote your book on Mozart, you didn't fly off to Vienna.
Because Mozart composed in his head. Beethoven composed on paper, so there are thousands and thousands of sketches that record his every thought, his every compositional idea, and they're in Bonn. It's the only hope I have of understanding why he did it. I have to go.
Promise me something,
What?
that if you get worse, you'll call me right away.
I promise.
Signor Diabelli, the Meister has decided he doesn't want to write one variation on your waltz.
Yes, so you have said.
Now he is considering writing a set of variations on it.
What?
Yes, Diabelli. Fortune smiles upon you.
That's wonderful news. And how many variations did he have in mind?
6 or 7.
That many?
Indeed.
That's wonderful. We would love to publish 7 variations by Beethoven. It may even merit its own book.
Well, it certainly will. Of course, an undertaking of this magnitude will require many hours of work,
Yes,
which the Meister will be devoting to your waltz.
yes, what an honor.
And he will do all of this for only 80 ducats.
80 ducats. 80 ducats?
In advance.
In advance?
Yes.
We can't take that kind of risk.
Risk? You are speaking of Beethoven. What is the risk?
Well, Beethoven has produced nothing of note in the last 5 years. People are talking.
What are people saying?
That he's finished. That he has nothing more to offer. That he's too ill.
People love to talk about other people's maladies. It makes them feel healthy.
Is any of it true?
It is no secret that Beethoven has been ill.
Schindler, people who have seen him say he looks like a madman, a beggar. We can't give you 80 ducats and then risk not getting the composition. That could ruin us.
Really, it's 6 or 7 variations, and your waltz, your composition will give birth to a beautiful set of variations by Beethoven.
You will have 40 ducats now, and 40 ducats when the baby is finished.
I will tell the master.
Promise me you will keep me informed of his progress at every step.
I promise.
Buongiorno, Signor Schindler.
Guten Tag, Signor Tipetti.
A set of variations on my waltz by Ludwig van Beethoven.
Excuse me, what number do you have?
Number 17. What about you?
34. Have you been waiting long?
What day is this? You in a hurry?
Yeah, I have to get my mother's laptop fixed. She's going away on a trip. Are you here to drop off your computer?
Yeah, my laptop. Apparently you're not supposed to drop it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a nice change. Usually I just come here and pay them $150 for them to tell me to press Control-Alt-Delete.
Yeah, I'm a Mac girl myself.
Oh, I see. Well, we're from completely different worlds and it'd never work out between us. My God, you don't remember me, do you? I examined your mom at the hospital.
Oh, I am so sorry. That was a rough day.
Yeah. How's she doing?
She's the same.
How long has she been ill?
8 months. But she just told me about it 2 weeks ago. She didn't want to worry me. And she's still going to take that trip to Bonn.
Is that in Germany?
Yes!
Well, she's a courageous woman.
She has to finish her monograph.
A what?
It's a book she's writing. She has to give a paper on it at a very important music conference.
Good for her. Most people, when they're diagnosed, want to stay home and spend time with their family. I'm sorry. I was trying to say how...
Not my mother. She has to finish her monograph.
Ah,
I'm sorry. It's Dr.
Mike, no doctor. I'm a nurse.
Right. Clara.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you a scholar too?
Me? No. I'm a costume designer at the moment, but I'm thinking of changing to set design. I'm gonna be here all day, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
Kind of makes the wait at the hospital seem not so bad.
Ah, touche.
Just press Control-Alternate-Delete. Number 17.
That's me. You want my number?
Your number?
Number 17?
Oh, no, I can't do that.
Please, please. I have more time than your mom. You know what I mean.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be back at 4.
Damen und Herren, und willkommen auf dem Lufthansa-Flug 805 nach Bonn. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to Lufthansa Flight 805 to Bonn. We have now reached our cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. The captain has turned off your seatbelt signs, indicating it is now safe to move about the cabin.
The pianist with the words alla marcia maestoso, to be played in the style of a majestic march. I'm fascinated that Beethoven chooses to begin his exploration of Diabelli's waltz with the majestic march. Perhaps he is instructing us that even if we begin this journey with trepidation, even if we may not yet know where it will take us, we must nevertheless embark on it with courage and determination, as if it were a majestic march.
If you look out your window now, you may see some beautiful landscapes of the German countryside. You may be able to see the woods where Beethoven composed some of his best work.
Early in May of 1822, the Meister traveled to the small village of Hetzendorf, where he rented a beautiful house surrounded by a lovely park. He spent the summers there, composing and going for very long walks in the countryside he loved so much.
Look! Schindler, look!
Yes, Meister.
Do you see?
Yes. No, what?
The countryside! Here the sun is not concealed by any dirty roof. Here my senses can feast upon the woods. Smell. Manure. Exactly. Anything's better than the stench of Vienna. My decree is to remain in the countryside. And miserable hearing does not plague me here. We can return in the winter.
Master, you have the rent at home to consider.
Surely it will be not difficult to rent a lodging this time of year. Schindler, listen. What? The sweet silence of the woods.
The first composition Beethoven wrote there was the variation on Diabelli's waltz, which had taken his fancy in a curious way.
That phrase in Schindler's biography, Diabelli's waltz, had taken his fancy in a curious way.
Diabelli's waltz had taken his fancy in a curious way.
How had it taken his fancy? What was curious about it? Schindler doesn't elaborate on that.
In no time, he had composed 5 variations, then 5 more, then 2 more. Every morning, before dawn, he was at his desk, because the variations kept piling up, and he kept saying,
That is not all. There are more in here.
Meister, Diabelli has cautioned you lest the work becomes too long and the publishing costs too high. He wants you to bring it to a close.
Tell him to be patient yet a little longer.
You should be working on the Mass on the 9th. Why this trifle of a waltz? You've already composed 12 variations on it.
Because there are more in here.
You're wasting your time. Sorry, but I don't understand this obsession of yours. Diabelli has said he doesn't need any more variations.
I am not doing this for Diabolus.
You know he doesn't like it when you call him that.
Night and day, I toil for the man. So tell him to be patient yet a little longer. I am not done. Fine.
In preparation for landing, please fasten your seatbelt. If you have been reading a book about Beethoven, we ask that you put it aside, return to the present, and snap out of it. Welcome to the beautiful city of Bonn.
As requested. This is a beautiful city. The center of town is almost the same as it was in the 1800s. The weather has been sunny, or been cloudy the last couple of days, but it says it'll be sunny the rest of the week. Even in this weather, you can see it's a beautiful city. Last night I learned their favorite local dish is pig's knuckles. Perhaps that's a part of the city's cultural life I'll have to do without. I'm meeting Dr. Ladenberger tomorrow. At last I get to see the sketchbooks. I can hardly wait. Here I don't feel sick at all. The city exudes music. Oh yes, there's a gigantic statue of Beethoven in the city's main square. Imagine a town that doesn't have a military hero in their main square, but a musician. What great promise. Mom, P.S. How's Hedda Gabler?
Mr. Kinnaman must think highly of you. His recommendation is the only reason you are allowed in here.
Well, it took me over a year to convince him.
Only a handful of people have access to our archives. It is the most important collection in the world.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Your tastes. I am not sure our material can be of assistance in your search.
Why not?
You're trying to find out where Beethoven chose the Diabelli's marks. It's really a question of inspiration, and I don't think our sketches can help you with that.
Well, I guess I won't know that until I can see them, will I?
During your visit, I will be with you whenever you are in our library, and I will give you a schedule of when you can come.
Of course.
Come this way. Ah, here we are. After Beethoven died, his sketches were torn apart by autograph collectors and souvenir hunters, so hardly any book remained complete. These are the survivors. These sketches are the most intimate diary of Beethoven's compositional process. Many believe they're more important than finished work because they're closer to the original inspiration of the artist. You see, after an artist is finished polishing a work, the initial instinct is marked by technique. These sketches show an unadulterated first impulse. But you wanted to see the Diabelli variations, yeah?
Yes.
Many of the sketches for the Diabelli variations are in this sketchbook. Always wear gloves when touching the books. The oil in your fingers can damage the old paper.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Good. This is the Wittgenstein sketchbook. In its present condition, it consists of 43 leaves of honing paper. The binding itself makes use of 5 stitched holes. This is the first page. Here you can see who owned it. After Beethoven died, they auctioned his sketchbooks. This one was sold many times over the next 130 years. Der composer Mendelssohn owned it, and the family of the philosopher Wittgenstein, which is of course how it got its name. And this is the second page. These lines in this book were made almost 200 years ago. He wrote first in pencil, and then, when he was sure, he went over it with ink and highlighted the parts he liked.
I see.
And now, with this button, we get the infrared light. See how it turns blue? The bright white is the ink. Those are the parts he chose to keep in the piece. The rest are ideas he discarded.
I see.
And then, this document records his compositional decisions. Some of these lines have never been played before. Here, these lines have never been recorded. You are hearing an original composition by Beethoven, never before heard, except by the people who have read the book.
Indeed.
And here is what you are looking for. These are some of the sketches for the Diabelli variations.
Hello?
Nurse Mike?
Yes?
This is Clara, Catherine Brandt's daughter. I'm sorry to be calling you on your cell phone.
It's okay.
I hope I'm not bothering you. It's just, I'm very confused, and I wanted to ask. I got an email from my mother yesterday, filled with typos.
Okay.
No, you don't understand. She doesn't make typos. She just doesn't.
I understand.
I've been reading up and trying to teach myself, and I've called several doctors, and they've all said the same thing. Stay the course. Stay the course. What course? There's no medicine, no treatment, no nothing. Am I missing something here?
They can't tell you anything because we don't have anything. It's an orphan disease.
Oh, what?
There's not enough patients to interest the pharmaceutical companies into producing medications. So there's no drugs coming down the pipeline. There is no pipeline.
So eventually she won't be able to speak anymore?
Yes, but you really shouldn't start worrying about that right now.
And to top it all off, she's in Bonn.
Listen, I hope this isn't weird or anything, but would you like to meet and get something to eat?
Oh?
Talk about your mom and the illness.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Okay, so I'll call you with the details.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
I can't decipher much of his handwriting.
Yes, it's hard to read. What are you looking for?
For the Diabelli variations. Oh, here they are.
Yes, that's it. Look, the first 4 bars. And here you can see all the sketches he made before he arrived at this variation. This is the first sketch he made. Not satisfied with that, he made this one. And then this one. And here is the variation itself.
I feel as though I'm looking over his shoulder while he's composing.
Exactly, that's how I feel.
Dear Clara, I've been here a little over a week and I'm making such great progress. Today I got to look at variation number 3. It's a waltz. Diabelli's waltz is trivial and it's ordinary, but Beethoven's waltz is so light and so melodious. He begins the waltz on such a light note. But here is the interesting part. These 3 notes, C, A, B flat, repeated over and over. He's pausing to think. A lesser composer would have erased those passages or changed those bars, but not him. He wants you to feel his moment of trepidation, of doubt. And then he goes on, the notes ascending and ascending, a rising promise. Dr. Ladenberger?
Yes?
What's this?
Some kind of food stain.
It looks like wine.
Nein, it's probably soup. He loved soup.
This soup is terrible! Frau Schnaps, what are you giving me? Schindler, you said this soup was good. Does no one in this household know how to differentiate a good bowl of soup from this putrid, fetid, ranting, rotty trough of swill? Does no one have a palate in this house? Am I surrounded by palatless people?
I didn't know he loved soup.
I didn't either until I found soup on many of his sketches. These records are not only a record of his compositional process, they are also a record of his daily diet. Do you like Schweinshaxe?
I beg your pardon?
Pig's knees? The Bundesdelikatesse will known all over Europe for hours. Pig's knees?
Pig's knuckles.
Ach ja, pig's knuckles. You must try it.
Yes, thank you, I will.
You will like it.
but I felt bad. He already had the tickets, and he's been so good about Mom. We're both so uncomfortable. I bet he hates this music. He told me he would teach me physiotherapy for Mom. He has very pretty eyes. I can hear him breathing. I wonder if he snores. He smells good. Oh, the hands. What's with the hands? Oh, that was awkward. There was too much garlic in that pasta. Oh, I wish I had a mint. Oh, not very good at this. Okay, just go with it. Just go with it.
God, I wish I knew more about what I was listening to. All sounds like classical music to me. I hope she likes it. Is she looking at me? What kind of face is this? I feel like a pulled muscle. That was awkward. What am I doing with my hands? Smells so good. Okay. Now hold her hand. Hold her hand. Hold her hand. Hold her hand. That was subtle. My God. She's holding it back. Best concert ever.
happy with them yet.
What do you mean he's not happy with them?
He won't let you publish them. He is not done yet.
But Schindler! Oh, Maestro, thank God! I must speak with you. But...
Yes, the Meister has a very sore throat and he can't speak.
Maestro, wait! When will the work be finished? Just give me a date. I think 19 variations is enough. We don't need more. I can't publish more. I can't decide his writing.
He says he can't give you a date.
Why not? Why not?
The Meister says he can't determine how many variations exist in it. When the beautiful theme that you have composed is exhausted, he will finish. Until then, he cannot bring it to an end.
He wrote all that.
He writes very fast.
Yes, very. I need them for the publishing house. We've sold almost nothing this year, and I don't want to go back to teaching 12-year-old girls the guitar.
He asks if you have tried selling wine. He says more people like wine.
Oh, you mustn't mock me. I served you well when I was with Steiner. I was always at your disposal. I don't understand why he's behaving this way.
Dear Daddy, I am making it better.
Maestro!
Pardon me, but I must tend the Meister.
Sketches. It's been invaluable. I've learned so much these past 3 months.
Good.
This is a beautiful city.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're reading.
Oh, no problem.
What are you reading?
A book about Mozart.
Mozart? Don't you feel like you're cheating on Beethoven? Seeing the sketches, I almost feel... Oh.
Exactly. I do remember when I first started, I had the same feeling. You are in pain?
No, I'm not.
What's the problem with the hand?
Nothing. It's nothing.
I saw you trying to pick up that book in the
It's nothing. It's nothing.
You don't have to tell me.
Do you follow baseball at all?
Do I look like a woman that follows baseball?
There was a player. Lou Gehrig?
Amyotrophische laterale sclerosis.
How do you know that?
I thought that's what you had. My aunt, 5 years ago, we lost her. It's a waste.
Excuse me.
The train is not coming. It's a waste of our time.
Deli, what are you doing in here? Are you mad?
Look at this Schindler, look! He's mocking my boss, he's mocking me!
Do you know what he would do to you if he found you touching his sketches?
He's turned my boss into a mad march, like toy soldiers marching! He can't do this! This is the first variation. The first variation must always follow the meter of the theme. He can't turn my boss into a march, it's just not done. These are the rules.
You really expect a Beethoven to conform to the musical conventions of the day?
And look at this one. It's like circus music. Clowns will dance to this music.
Very much what you are saying.
And look at this. A fugue. Everyone knows Beethoven can't write fugues. His fugues are terrible.
They are not terrible. They are just not very good.
Schindler, His fugues are terrible. Is this why he took on this commission, to mock me?
These are sketches. The Meister is trying things out. You cannot judge by these. These are not the final variations. That would be like looking at a pencil